Hello and welcome. Welcome to Input English, your source for comprehensible input to improve your listening comprehension and your speaking ability. This episode is entitled Start Here. We're going to address two questions. One, who am I? And two, why Input English? Okay, the first question, who am I? Who is your host? I am Joseph. I was born in the United States. I grew up on the East Coast. I have lived in California for more than 20 years. I've had several careers. Much of my work has been in education. I'm a language learner. I have tried to learn languages throughout my lifetime. And it was comprehensible input that made the big difference, albeit a long time ago. I am not a guru. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not an English teacher per se. I'm creating content for comprehensible input. The second question is why Input English? Why are we making these videos and why should you watch these videos? There are two reasons. Number one, it's necessary. It's needed. So we don't see a lot of corporations pumping out comprehensible input for language learners. There's a reason for that, and that is dealt with in my other video entitled Follow the Money. Simply put, it is difficult to monetize comprehensible input content. It costs a fair amount of money to produce. It's a lot of effort, and the return on investment has not been attractive to the corporations. Comprehensible input is a very effective way to learn languages. It's effective, it's efficient, and if it's done well, it's fun. We need input content in all the languages. If somebody is trying to learn Mandarin Chinese, they need input. If someone is trying to learn English, they need input. So if you go on to social media, you go on to YouTube, for instance, and you look for resources to learn languages, a lot of times these sites are creating resources that represent traditional learning methods. Grammar, vocabulary, my opinion, that's pretty boring and it's not very effective. So good quality, interesting, comprehensible input content for all the languages needed, and it's needed in English. The second reason we're making these videos is gratitude. I am grateful to the people who decades ago patiently listened to me, talked to me, used simpler phrases, simpler words when they discerned that I was not understanding them. And then they listened carefully when I spoke to them, and this developed as a language exchange. Oftentimes, I would speak to the other person in English, and they would speak to me in the target language, because for them, English was their target language. So we had mutual benefit created, and this was a language exchange, but it didn't develop because we were trying to create a language exchange. It developed because at the time it made sense. This was my introduction to Comprehensible Input. This was long before videos were available to access this kind of content. I'm also grateful to the content creators of the modern era. There are some very talented, committed, conscientious people who are making videos in a variety of languages. So if you go online and you want to find Comprehensible Input, you can find it. You can find it in Spanish. You can find it in German. You can find it in a lot of different languages. And with each passing month, the quality of that input tends to improve. I've been impressed with the improvement over time. So that gratitude to the content creators and the gratitude to the kind people who worked with me one-on-one in a language exchange drives me to make content like this, so that you, the English learner, can get good quality, interesting, comprehensible input to improve your skills. So that's it for this episode. I invite you to come back and visit us on Input English and to take advantage of the content we're creating. I also invite you to put comments below, because I want to be responsive to the needs of this English language learning community. If most of the comments say that I am speaking too quickly or too slowly, or that what I'm saying is boring, then that's an opportunity for me to change and for this channel to evolve and get better. As I watch Comprehensible Input on YouTube, for instance, or on the various websites that are available for this purpose, the thing that strikes me is they are all evolving. They're not staying the same. They're all getting better. And so I'm asking for comments so that I can get better, because we want to help. We want to do it right, and we want to respond to the needs of the viewer. So that's it for now. I hope to see you in the next video.